Welcome, I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Today I'm showing you how to make this old-fashioned molasses cake with dates, raisins, and pecans. It's absolutely delicious. The ingredients you're going to need is 1 cup of raisins. These can be your dark raisins or your golden raisins. I'm going to leave that up to you. 1 cup of dates, 1 cup of chopped pecans, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, and ginger, 1 cup of your all-purpose vegetable shortening, 3 eggs, 1 cup of molasses, 1 cup of whole buttermilk, and the glaze for the top of this is going to be 1 cup of powdered sugar and a tablespoon and a half of really strong brewed coffee. If you don't like coffee, go ahead and use milk or either water to replace your coffee. Let's first start by adding our spices and baking soda and baking powder right here into our flour with a whisk. We're going to incorporate these 5 ingredients really super well together. Set this off to the side. Mix your all-purpose vegetable shortening and sugar in a large bowl with a hand mixer on medium. We're going to start off by incorporating the sugar and the shortening. When your shortening is light and fluffy and with your sugar like this, we're going to add 1 egg at a time. We're going to beat the egg into the shortening. Now we're going to add that 2nd egg and your 3rd egg. At this time, you may need to scrape down the sides of your bowl. That looks absolutely perfect. We're adding that molasses in here. And if you'd like to use sorghum for this cake, you may. And incorporate these ingredients really well together, making sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl. That molasses smells so delicious. It's beginning to look and smell a lot like fall. This is a perfect fall cake. Add about 1 cup of our flour and a 1/2 cup of that buttermilk. We're going to alternate the flour and buttermilk as we start on low speed and keep it on low speed until your buttermilk and flour has mixed lovely into your molasses mixture. Time to add another cup of that flour and the rest of your buttermilk. We're ending with that last bit of flour. And you're going to mix this well till you can no longer see the flour. Look how luscious and thick that cake batter is. You know it's going to be a fantastic cake when it has that kind of a texture. Adding those dates, raisins, and pecans to this batter. And we're going to mix this in by hand just until the nuts and the dates and the raisins are coated with that batter. And if you could be here and smell how fantastic this is. Now at this point you want your oven heating to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to divide this cake batter into 2 9-inch square pans. I've lightly greased and floured each one, and in the bottom I've cut out a piece of parchment paper that I've also greased and I floured because we don't want our cake sticking to our pan. With that batter, we're going to equally spoon in equal amounts to each cake pan. So I just say 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 2 scoops here, 3 scoops here, and 3 scoops here, and I pretty well get my cake batter evenly distributed in my cake pans. Oh my gosh! And I just know this cake is going to be absolutely fantastic because it's got this lovely, nice, thick batter. You're going to spread out your cake batter from corner to corner until everything's evenly distributed. These are off to that preheated oven on the middle rack for 35 minutes. Use your timer and no peeking. Here are these old-fashioned molasses cakes. Now, these baked for 50 minutes. I used a toothpick to test the doneness of the cake. If that toothpick comes out clean, then the cake has completed baking. If it had some cake batter there on the toothpick, you'd put it back in the oven for another 5 to 6 minutes. So we're going to let these cool for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to show you how to get them out of their pan. You're probably asking, can I divide the batter in half so I can just make one 9-inch square cake? Yes, you may. So feel free to divide that batter in half if you just want to make one cake. We're going to remove these cakes from their 9-inch square pans with a plastic knife. I love using a plastic knife. That way it's not going to scratch your baking pans up. We're going to go around all 4 sides, shake it. You see it's loose? Okay, you're going to take your cooling rack. You're going to put it here, flip it upside down, and voila, there you go. Now that parchment paper we used will help it slide out very nicely. And look, when you pull it off, it's like professional looking. Oh yeah, be a professional baker. Oh my goodness, so beautiful and smells absolutely fantastic, y'all. I like to add the glaze to this cake on the side that was side up. So I'm gonna put another cooling rack on the top, and we're just gonna flip it over like this. And then we got the top of this lovely old-fashioned molasses cake. And then we're gonna let this cool for 30 minutes. I put a piece of parchment paper down because this is what I'm gonna put my cake on to glaze it. That powdered sugar and that coffee, we're gonna add it in there. And like I said, if you don't wanna use coffee, go ahead and use water or milk. And we're gonna whisk this around until we have a lovely, smooth glaze that we're gonna add to the top of our old-fashioned molasses cake. To be able to get your whisker size in. Now this is the consistency you're looking for. Absolutely beautiful. My, smells yummy. Back with the cake. We're going to take that glaze on the spoon, start from a corner, and just start working back and forth. Alright, you're going to use half the glaze for one cake and the other half of the glaze for your second cake. Oh my, this is going to be absolutely scrumptious. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, do whatever design you love. Cut it however you wish. I'm just going to cut mine into squares. And then we're going to go this way. And then let's see, I'm going to do it very informally. Oh yeah, look at the raisins. Look at that. Ooh, it made me think of a breakfast quick bread. And it smells so yummy. I can smell the cinnamon and the ginger and yum. All right, got to give it a try. Look how moist it is. Just, it breaks right off. You have that sweetness from those raisins and the dates with that molasses, and it's delicious. There's a really super faint taste from that coffee glaze. Makes you want to have a cup of coffee and a piece of this old-fashioned molasses cake. Oh yeah, it's that good. Wow. Those crunchy nuts just make it so fabulous. Hey y'all, happy fall. Give me thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Follow me here on YouTube or Instagram. And I'll catch you next time.